Hello, what is up, friends? Welcome back to your live feed update, day 15. If you are not already, make sure you hit the subscribe button below so you can stay updated all season long. Alright, now let's get started. First of all, there is a huge announcement in the Big Brother house. So yesterday, day 15, the feeds were off for pretty much the entire day. Hours and hours, or like 4 or 5 hours straight, where we just didn't see anything. And then the house guests went into the veto competition. And that was a couple more hours of us not seeing everything. All of us live feeders were speculating into what could possibly be going on in the Big Brother house, but when the feeds finally did come on, we saw that Chris Kattan was nowhere to be found. It appears that Chris Kattan has self-evicted or quit the game and is no longer on Big Brother. Now, I'm not sure exactly what happened to Chris. Apparently, we're going to find out in Friday's episode, what exactly went down. But we did see that during the last eviction, he pretty much asked the entire house to vote him out, in which they did not. And he just generally seemed to be miserable and not having that good of a time in the Big Brother house.
If I win the veto today, If I win the veto today, I'm taking you down. Off the block. I'm taking you off the block. Meaning saving you.
I don't know.
I'm going to do that.
Why?
If I win it, I'm going to do that. Because I trust you.
Mirai deserves, I think Mirai deserves to stay here.
So I don't know if he volunteered to leave or if it was for a medical reason or what's going on, but hopefully we will find out later. Anyway, so long to you, Chris Kattan. You truly were one of a kind. Now, here's the thing about Chris Kattan. Even though he wasn't really participating or playing in the game at all, him leaving is actually super duper important because it's really gonna screw up Miesha's HOH. He was going to be her replacement nominee, and if all else fails, people knew that they could always send Chris Kattan home since he kind of wanted to go home anyway. He was a huge shield for everybody in the house, and now he is gone. When the feeds came back on, a new POV winner was revealed, and that winner is Shanna once again. We actually see Shanna go up to Lamar, and she confides to Lamar that she's planning on using the veto to take Carson off the block to force Miesha to put up Todd as a replacement. I love this idea. I love that Shanna is trying to change up the game and make a big move and take Carson off the block, but my only concern is, how does she know that Miesha's gonna put up Todd? She and that other side of the house seem pretty convinced that Todd's gonna go up on the block as a replacement nominee, but I'm not quite so sure about that. We know it's obviously not gonna be Todrick, and with Chris Kattan out the house, that only leaves 3 more eligible options: Kirkpatrick, Todd Bridges, and Lamar Odom. And this really sucks for Miesha because up until now, she's been working with all 3 of those people. Okay, so here are the arguments for all 3 cases. First, let's talk about Todd. Todd and Miesha are actually surprisingly close in the house when it comes to game, and I think they actually have some sort of final 2 deal with each other. Todd also isn't much of a threat, and I really don't think he has a good shot of winning the game. He also seems to be the most loyal to Miesha between him and Lamar and Kirkpatrick, so I think Miesha putting up Todd would actually be pretty detrimental to her game. Miesha did entertain the idea of putting up Todd as a pawn, but little does she know he would not be a pawn and he would be the one going home, so for her game, it's best that she does not do that. Her second option is Lamar. Now, Lamar and Miesha have been pretty much on the same page the whole game, but Lamar is actually playing the game and participating in game talk, and he has actually flipped to the other side of the house. Lamar made it clear to everybody, except for Miesha and Todrick, that if he wins, Lamar is immediately going to target Miesha and Todrick because they're the strongest duo in the house. He's made that very clear. But the only thing is Miesha and Todrick don't know that, and they think they have Lamar in their pocket. So Lamar could be a pretty good option to go up on the block, but Miesha has no clue that he is on their side at all, so I don't think it would be Lamar. The third option is Kirkpatrick. Now, Chris and Miesha have been working together since the very beginning of the game, but Chris has also been working pretty much everybody in the house and has been really trying to ride the middle. He's not as loyal to Miesha as Miesha thinks he is. And if Todrick has anything to do with it, then Kirkpatrick's ass will definitely be the one going up on that block.
And I just feel like he's just been being super disrespectful to me. Every day he wakes up and it's like, which version of Kirkpatrick are we going to experience today? It doesn't make me feel stable, doesn't make me feel safe. And I think that the moment it's down to 6 or 4 of us, he's going to be gunning for me. And I just don't fuck with that. I'm making it my personal mission to just make sure I last in this house longer than he does.
See, during Miesha's first HOH, Todrick was in her ear a lot, and Todrick was actually the driving force behind Teddi's eviction and getting her out the house. So I think Todrick really does have a lot of pull with Miesha. We see Todrick and Miesha have a really good convo where Todrick is trying to convince Miesha to go through with putting Kirkpatrick up on the block, but Miesha is still a little hesitant. Todrick has a pretty good read on the game, and he knows that they're going to use the power of veto, and he knows that they are brewing up something against the two of them. The only thing he really doesn't know is that Lamar isn't on their side. If Miesha was smart, she would be listening to Todrick, but I do not know if she's going to do that. Targeting Kirkpatrick would be Miesha's best move because he isn't as loyal to her as she thinks he is. A couple of days ago, he tried to blindside Todrick in order to weaken Miesha's game, and he successfully got rid of Mirai in order to weaken Miesha's game. I feel like this should be really obvious to Miesha, but her social game is pretty weak. During her first HOH reign, she got to spend like 10 nights upstairs by herself in the HOH room, so I don't think she got the chance to make as strong of connections with everybody else in the house as she could have otherwise. She's kind of turning out to be one of the villains this season, but in my opinion, she hasn't done anything really wrong or evil. She just doesn't have that like sparkly, sunny, amiable personality like some of the other house guests. So as of right now, the plan is to take Carson off the block and have Miesha put up somebody else as a replacement. But the only thing is Miesha thinks that Cynthia is going to be the one coming off the block. So when it actually is Carson that's taken off the block, that should be all the warning signs Miesha needs to know that everybody is against her, and hopefully for her game she would put Kirkpatrick up, but we'll see how that goes. So what do you all think of this nomination plan, and who do you think is playing the best game right now? Let me know in the comments below. We have a 2-hour-long episode on Friday, and I'm so sure that things are going to get crazy, so I'm super excited to watch. Make sure you're subscribed if you have not already. I'll see y'all later. Peace.